Alright, guys. So there's a new video out for Patrick CC. The joke is on Ari Shaffir. What's that name? Sound familiar? I don't know. We'll see. The name does sound familiar. I don't know why.
Ari Shaffir is an unapologetically edgy, crass, and shocking comedian who refuses to be silenced no matter how much backlash he gets. Unsurprisingly, many see him as a disgusting bully, whereas others see him as almost a saving grace for comedy, based on the idea that comedians should be able to say anything they want, that no topic, no matter how controversial, is off limits while delivering jokes. With podcasts becoming more and more popular, the line between jokes and reality is
he was a lot
as they
in
broadcast thousands of
Joe
hours of
Rogan.
unfiltered conversations, they slowly expose their reality behind the act. Over the past decade, Ari has acted on and openly admitted to suspicious behavior that now even his fans are starting to feel uneasy about. Ari Shaffir was born in New York City but raised in North Carolina into a Jewish family of Romanian Jewish descent. His father was a Holocaust survivor, which is why Ari was essentially exiled from his family after he told his father he lost his faith in Judaism.
Did you talk to your parents about it?
Yeah, I came out of the closet,
Okay.
as it were.
How did that go?
Not that great. My father said I was lower than a dog.
Wow.
'Cause even a dog believes in God.
Ari grew up watching shows like
Damn.
Laugh from the Laugh Factory and Johnny Carson, dreaming of doing stand-up himself one day. He graduated college, turned 25 years old, and decided it was time to move to Los Angeles and finally give himself a shot at his dream. He applied to the iconic Laugh Factory, who at the time was hosting acts like Bob Saget, Adam Sandler, Jimmy Fallon, and Roseanne, just to name a few. On his way to the factory, he drove past the Comedy Store, a smaller club that he was unfamiliar with. Ari decided he would just toss in an application there, where he eventually got his first job answering the phones. Mitzi Shore, the renowned owner of the Comedy Store, would advise Ari on his comedy showcases, and even let him work the doors so he could watch other comedians and learn from them. Ari sat and watched emerging talents such as Joe Rogan, Joey Diaz, Bobby Lee, and Sebastian Maniscalco dominate the stage every night. After 4.5 years, Mitzi eventually made Ari a paid regular at the club. He was now officially a full-time stand-up comic, but needed
Damn,
to
4
push the
years?
boundaries to compete with the all-stars that were emerging out of LA. Ari produced a short video series titled The Amazing Racist in 2004. The title was a spin
Racist?
on The Amazing Race, and Ari is acting in a manner which is overtly and ironically racist. The show was featured on National Lampoon's Lost Reality, a DVD compilation of reality shows and episodes that networks wouldn't dare to air on TV. Ari wouldn't gain much traction from this until years after YouTube launched. Fans of the skits were going viral after uploading bits they ripped from the DVD.
Sorry, boy.
Oh wait, I've seen that.
It's hotter in Africa out there. What's up, Fat Albert? Listen, I need a couple lighters. You got a couple lighters? Come,
You
don't-
walk around with that shit on. You want a motherfucking lighter from this? Do you know what you are?
Today, what we're gonna do is we're gonna with the lowest of the low. Mexicans. Let's go. Let's go sneak in the kitchen. See who can.
Oh my god.
Working hard over here? All right. Hey.
Okay, this does not help that I'm wearing a poncho right now. I'm Mexican, by the way. I am Mexican. Alright. So Mexicano. So I could do it. I'm fine.
No, it's okay. Go ahead. It's wet. It's got a wet back. It's true. Don't work so hard. Take a break. Take a siesta. Come on. It's not a big deal. Just lie down. Oh. Where do you guys keep the babies? I know you'll have 20 babies. Where do you keep them?
It seems like some of the bits
That's
feature paid
crazy.
actors who poorly react to Ari's behavior, especially when you consider the multiple different perfect camera angles which are often in front of the subject's face. Although The Amazing Racist was a less funny and less creative version of The Chappelle Show, the desire for Americans to indulge in racist humor was apparently very strong, because Ari was approached by fellow comedian Vince Offer to do a reboot of The Amazing Racist in 2013. Vince
Oh,
Offer,
really?
who many know as the ShamWow guy, was producing a movie called Inappropriate Comedy, which starred Michelle Rodriguez, Lindsay Lohan, and Oscar winner
Michelle
Adrian Brody.
Rodriguez?
Ari had a larger budget this time
Wait,
around.
what? Oh,
which
this
he
is the
didn't spend on a
movie.
team to write better jokes, but rather costumes and gimmicks to enhance the same surface level stereotypes.
Can I interest you guys in a boat ride? We're giving away free boat rides today. We're trying to get, what do you guys call yourself, African Americans to back to Africa. You know, where you're from.
Man, I'm from here. What the hell are you talking about?
We got you lots of American jobs where you can eat the corn on the stick and
You save up money, dinero, buy a lowrider, and just ruin the neighborhood. Bring property values down for everybody. Okay, but enjoy yourself.
Oh my god.
I got one for you, bro. Where's my bounty?
Sir, don't get out of the car.
I got one.
Sir,
Find a black guy to park that. Woo! Better luck next time, Paco.
Just like the National Lampoon Lost reality movie, clips from the inappropriate comedy movie would also be uploaded to YouTube, securing millions of views almost every time.
Holy
You're driving really f***ing dangerous right now. Please, just try to concentrate on the road. Open your eyes!
I don't know if this is safe.
It's please, it's safer than having your eyes half closed. So that eye's way better, right? You can see better out of that eye now.
I guess so, yeah.
While some say these videos are just jokes featuring paid actors who signed waivers approving of the comedy, others, even as far as back as a decade, just couldn't find the humor in the blatant racism. Piggybacking off the momentum, Ari released his first stand-up album, Revenge for the Holocaust, in 2012, which reached #1 on the iTunes and Amazon comedy albums chart.
Really?
He produced his first stand-up special, Passive Aggressive. Ari was respected by his comedy peers. One particular comedian, Joe Rogan, took a liking to him. In 2010, Joe invited Ari on the 3rd ever episode of the Joe Rogan Experience podcast. Ari was a guest in 9 of the first 100 episodes and became a pivotal member of the JRE community, which would eventually become the #1 podcast in the world. Slowly throughout the 2010s, comedians hosting podcasts became more and more common, since they all realized how Joe Rogan's stand-up audiences started increasing as his podcast became more popular. This would be the beginning of Ari showing his dark side. On an episode of Punch Drunk Sports, one of Ari's now defunct podcasts, he berated his employee and producer, known as The Fat Man, for accidentally making an error that led to Ari not being able to take calls from viewers on the air.
We have the show, it was recorded, the audio is on, fans can hear it, it was just, that was my fault.
But we couldn't do any of the calls we wanted for the 100 episodes.
Like you hit a switch
Right.
that had big X on it and tape all around that said, do not touch this button, never touch this
Okay,
button.
okay, first of all, hold on.
Single notice, he wouldn't have done it. If you prepared at all, he wouldn't have done
There
it.
was notice on that thing. That thing
Saying
says
how
right
to
on
do
it.
it, saying how to take
It's
phone
really
calls.
dark down there. I
Always
couldn't see-
taped up.
Saying don't touch or actually how to do it.
Oh god, dude. Oh man. Okay, look. This is one of the reasons why this is one of the reasons why I'm kind of like hesitant to work with a lot of people within a group all the time, especially something like this. I mean, it's just like, I don't know, man. It's like I'd rather have a lot of stuff under my control than just going all over the place. And I don't know, dude. Like just having somebody bossing me around. I mean, obviously not everybody wants to have like a boss. I mean, and it's common sense, but it's just damn, dude. I don't know, something about just working with a big ass group, it just feels off to me, man. Like I just can't do it personally. I could work and collab, but like working with a group, I don't know. I haven't not really changed. My mind has not been changed about that for a long time. Because look, look, the guy said it was a mistake. Somebody messed with some of the equipment, and now they're blowing up.
Do something. Not what not to do or what actually to do. Because he couldn't figure out what to do.
Telling someone what not to do is the same as telling them what to do. Do not do this. At the very least, do not ever.
And that's how we're supposed to take phone calls for
a.
our 100th episode? That's how we're supposed to take phone calls? Do not do? That's supposed to help us?
That's the phone line. That was
You
not
asshole. I'm glad I never learned your name.
Ari continued to scold the man and let him know just how much he screwed up.
Hey, fat man, go home. Get out and go home. Go take a smoke break for 2 hours. You're not wanted here. You're adding nothing. Go home. I'm not sorry that I'm hurting you. Get the f out of here. Leave. Just leave if you're not going to help. Fix the phones or leave.
I got it. I got the show.
Are you fixing the phones?
man,
You got the show. All right, fat man, get out. You're just a distraction. Get the
I
out.
don't even know how to fix it.
All you do is give us bad drops. Get the out or fix it. Are you moving to fix it or get out? It should be one or the other right now.
Fix it.
Then
I'm
get
driving
the out.
for a week.
Then go home. Get the out and go home.
Judge a man by how he
That is like, yeah, like a boss like that too. Okay, so not that long ago, I got a job as a t-shirt screen printer, right? Holy hell, the boss was goddamn toxic. Like he was toxic, dude. Like he didn't yell at me per se, but like he tried to be like one of those like cool bosses, that type of thing. But holy hell, dude, he got frustrated so easily on the small things, and he very like underestimated like a lot of stuff that I could do, like because I knew about screen printing already, right? And so like he tried making like his wife to do other things, projects, stuff like that. And then I was like, bro, just let me do this. Like I could handle the artwork, right? Because I know how to do vector art and separate the colors and measure and all that kind of stuff, right? But bro, like this guy got like so annoyed by his own wife, he freaking blew up and went crazy and started yelling. I'm like, bro, she's just here to help because right now you don't have a lot of help. That's why you hired me. And he went crazy. I was like, bro, I feel so bad for the wife. I'm like, bro, you gotta calm down, dude. You just gotta calm down, man. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? Um, and I was gonna like continue working there. I worked there for a couple, like I think like a month or two, and they hired someone new. And I was like, okay, look, if I decide to leave, they hire someone new. It won't be as bad. But you know what? It's a job at the end of the day, right? You just gotta push through it. The thing that happened was they didn't help the new person at all. They started yelling at them like really bad. I was like, bro, they're new. You knew they're new. I'm new. I just had a little bit. I just had a little bit more experience. Not even that crazy experience, but just a little bit more. And you're yelling at them like crazy for doing something wrong, and they're new. For like not even like a big project, by the way, where like they lose a lot of money or anything like that. No, no, no. It was something small. And yeah, after 2 months, I was like, all right, yeah, I cannot deal with this. Like, I cannot deal with this right now. Like, fuck that. Like, what? You know? Um, yeah, I just couldn't do it. I was like, nah, I can't do it. I'm good. After 2 months, I was like, bro, like, it's like you cannot be treating people like that. Um, yeah, so I was gonna push through to it, but then it's like it just got worse and worse, and so yeah, I just ended up leaving. I probably should have stayed and like, cause I was not the one getting yelled at, but I don't know, man. It felt weird. I don't know, it just felt weird. Um, in the hindsight, but it's like I don't know, man. It's just when you have like a person who treats people like that, at one point they're gonna treat me like that and go crazy like that, which is fine to a certain extent, right? When I make a mistake, that's perfectly fine. That's normal. Like, hey, man, I made a mistake. Obviously, you're mad. It's your money. It's your business. I get that part, but it's weird to a point where you're like extremely toxic like that, like where you're putting them down instead of trying to teach them. Because when you just try to put somebody down and not teach them, you're not really gonna help your business. You know. You're just hurting your business. So what the hell is the point of hiring? You should just hire someone who had more experience. So like, what is wrong with you? You know. Um. So yeah, I pretty much ended up leaving. A part of me says like I should have stuck it out for a little bit, but yeah. I mean, luckily after that, I think I like jobs to like do art shows and like doing more commissions and all that kind of stuff. And things were getting better. Obviously before, yeah. Anyways, but yeah, I mean, I got lucky around the time frame, but man, I feel bad for the workers who stayed. I don't know if they're still there or not, but yeah.
He treats his subordinates, not his equals. However, this blowup is a minor form of aggression compared to the violent attack he committed on fellow comedian Bobby Lee many years later. But before we get into that, a word from today's sponsor, Rocket Money. The other day I wasted hours trying to cancel all of my subscription services.
He did
Luckily,
attack
today's
him.
sponsor, Rocket Money, is here to help. Rocket Money is the personal finance app that helps you cancel subscriptions, lower bills, and manage your money better. I'm using Rocket Money to cancel all those subscriptions I forgot about and just don't use.
How did you forget a subscription? Like honestly, how do you forget a subscription? Like, don't people check out their like how much money they have in the bank or something? Like once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week or something? Like, oh, I still have that. I gotta cancel. Like, how do you forget your subscriptions? Yeah, but budget management. Okay, I can see that. I mean, I think a lot of people need help with budget management, right? Because some of us are crazy spenders. And I understand that too, right? Because when you got that itch of spending money, it goes crazy sometimes. Like for me personally, when I buy something huge, I'm like, oh, what's an extra $20? Oh, what's an extra 100? That kind of mindset is so goddamn bad, man. I haven't had that in a while, but like I had that like when I bought the PC, I was like, oh, what's an extra 100?
Use anymore.
Really
Rocket Money
bad.
identifies reoccurring charges and cancels them for you with just one tap. Rocket Money can also help you grow your net worth by giving you a clear picture of all your assets in one place, including your cash, debts, investments, crypto, and retirement funds. Rocket Money has helped save its customers an average of
I do need to start a
$720 a
retirement
year,
fund,
with over
but I need
$500
a
million
career
in
first. I need my
canceled
career back.
subscriptions. To save more and spend less, join the over 5 million members using Rocket Money today. Go to rocketmoney.com/PatrickCC or click the link in the description to get started for free. You can also unlock even more features with premium. That's rocketmoney.com/PatrickCC to get started for free. Ari's fame continued to slowly increase as he released his second special in 2015, Paid Regular, on Comedy Central. Then in 2017, he released Double Negative on Netflix, which consisted of 2 45-minute shows. And it was around 2017 where the Joe Rogan effect really started to blossom. Podcast comedians started to emerge from the deep corners of the internet to the mainstream. Tom Segura, Theo Vaughn, Brennan Schaub, Bert Kreischer, Bobby Lee, and so many others saw their viewership exponentially increase. In May of 2017, Bobby shared a brutal story of a few interactions with Ari Shaffir that seemed too vicious to be true, but it was. It all began when Bobby was performing at the Comedy Store one night, and fellow comedian Ron Peterson, who Bobby worked with on Mad TV at the time, came up and asked him a question.
Well, I was at the Comedy Store one night, and he goes, "Who's that on stage?" I go, "That's Natasha Leggero." He goes, "She's hot." I go, "Yeah, but she lives with Ari Shaffir." Ron Peterson goes, "All right." And then a couple hours later, I was driving him back to the hotel where we were staying at, and he goes, "I got her number." I go, "Yeah, but she's seeing my friend Ari." He's like, "Yeah, but she's gonna go on." So she starts like going to like plays with him, dinners behind Ari's back, right? And then out of nowhere, Ari calls me. "She left me, dude." I go, "Yeah, but," she goes, "You set them up."
Bobby didn't necessarily feel like he was doing anything wrong, but he did try to convince Ron that asking for Natasha's number was a bad idea. But Ari was irrational and emotional and gave Bobby an insane ultimatum.
"If you don't do this for me right now, this thing I'm going to ask you to do, I know that you set them up."
Whoa.
What was the thing?
Break into his office at Mad TV,
Yeah.
go into his computer,
Yeah.
and steal the emails between Ron and
Oh, wow.
That's some intense
Natasha. So I go, I can't break into his fucking office at Mad TV.
After refusing to commit the felony, Ari got violent.
So I go, "No, I'm not going to do that." And he goes, "Then you set them up." So that Friday, I show up at the Comedy Store, and I'm checking in at the front counter.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Sorry, I was like focusing on like edit detail. I'm about to clean it up, but yeah, I do remember that. We actually watched another video based on that. Yeah, the girl was scummy. Like her stuff that came out of her, she was scummy, man. She was scummy. But yeah, it was just a weird thing, honestly, because yeah, she cheated and she went to 8 dates with other guys and stuff like that. But yeah, that guy really like he lost it. He completely lost it.
Counter, and he punches me in the face.
Like for real punches
Yes.
you.
I fall to the ground, and he kicks me in the face like 20 times. Now I'm bleeding. But then as I get up, I hear my name being called
On stage.
on stage, and I go up on stage.
And did you talk about it or?
I only went up for 1 minute,
Yeah.
and I go, "That guy right there." You know what I mean? I'm bleeding from the face. He beat the shit out of me. You know what I mean? Like I called him out. "Ari Shaffir."
The club manager convinced Bobby that he shouldn't press charges and that Ari was just emotional, so Bobby obliged. Then the following week, he got assaulted again.
A week later, I'm walking down the hallway at the Comedy Store. He lunges at me, right? And he starts strangling
Sorry,
me
my thumb to close that down.
in the hallway. And he's squeezing,
Choking?
and then my neck starts bleeding because he has his nails gouged into my neck.
But it
His
didn't
nails?
stop there.
How long
While
was
this
nails?
conflict was going on, Ari Shaffir successfully secured a role on Carlos Mencia's Mind of Mencia show, which blended comedy skits and live stand-up. This would have been a pretty good gig for a comedian at the time. However, Carlos was out of town, and when he returned, he heard about what happened to Bobby Lee. Mencia called up Ari Ari, telling him that because he beat up Bobby, he will be removed from the show. In Ari's mind, Bobby was sabotaging first his personal life and now his comedy career, prompting him to attack Bobby yet again.
Oh my
Show
god.
up at the Comedy Store after he gets fired from Mind Mencia. Like, I parked
Bro, this guy's getting beat up at the Comedy Store multiple times, man. Like, what the... Like, bro.
the car, I close the door, I hear, yeah, pa, 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 and then no running because he's in the air.
Doing a Superman punch?
Yeah. He does a Superman punch from behind. Pap! I fall to the ground, right? I just run straight to the office, screaming. And I try to call 911.
Because of this situation, Ari was banned from the Comedy Store, the club that kickstarted his whole career. For the next few years, Ari would bully Bobby any chance he could, calling him every sort of insult whenever they passed by each other. And for the longest time, Bobby could never get through to him that it wasn't his fault. It took 5 years for Ari to realize Bobby had nothing to do with it and that he was overly emotional, and they finally settled their fairly one-side beef. But then we learned that Bobby Lee kind of twisted the story a little bit. It turns out Ron Peterson was someone that Bobby needed to be friends with to help his career, and Bobby was actually calling Ari over and over to find out if him and Natasha were broken up, so that Ron could make his move. Additionally, when Ari first attacked Bobby, it was because Bobby was egging him on, getting in his face, and Ari gave him a fair warning.
And then I saw you at the store.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, dude, like, it hit me now where you were on this. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty mad. And you're like, and then the way you were smiling, like, could I just say one thing? Let me just say one thing.
Oh,
And I was like,
God.
Bobby, get the away from me. Get
Yeah,
the away
and you
from
know
me.
what? I'll admit I did that.
And you're like, let me just say, I was like, I don't think you hitting, like, how much is this hurting me? You're like, let me just say one thing. I'm like, dude, get the away or I'm going to hit you. And then you kept doing it. And then I just punched you and you fell. So you didn't even give me the satisfaction of fighting back.
But you kicked me while I was down there.
Yeah, well, you were down.
Bobby twisted the story to make Ari seem like a total psychopath attacking people unprovoked. But at the end of the day, Ari
It's
still
still-
violently
yeah.
unleashed his anger on a guy who had basically nothing to do with his girlfriend cheating on him. And you
True.
would think that as Shaffir got more famous, he would be more careful of what he says and does. But that couldn't be
Because, yeah, I mean, like, at the end of the day, man, at the end of the day, it's like, no matter who's involved, no matter what person comes in between you two, it all matters of your partner. That is it. Everybody else don't even exist. They could be scummy, whatever, but at the end of the day, it's all about your partner. It's they're the ones who are cheating on you, not their affair or whatever. So you should just not take it on other people. Just take it on her, not violently or anything like that. But like, you know, she's the one that's causing all this.
further from reality. On a 2018 episode of the Punch Drunk Sports podcast, Ari shared a very questionable story of him willingly exposing himself to a minor.
I was at my friend's house. She's a lesbian, single mother, and she goes, "I want to go to the bathroom." She goes, and she has a 5-year-old. She goes, "Can she watch you pee? Because she needs to see what a penis looks like before it's too."
What?
Yeah.
What?
She doesn't want the first penis she sees to be like the
The
first
one going into her mouth?
Yeah.
Dude, why would she
What?
choose yours?
I know. But this is what she said. She was like, "Why does it come out of that thing?" And I was like,
Hold on.
"Oh,
wait, she
You let the kid watch you pee?
I know.
You let
Oh
the
my
kid
God.
watch you pee?
You gotta start with the story. Where have you been with this?
Did you let her shake it off?
Bro, what the? No, what the hell? That's not, bro.
No, but then she went to touch it. I was like, "Don't crossing a line."
What?
Can't touch it.
How old is she?
Hold on.
Even a bunch of edgy comedians are listening to this story in total shock and keep asking him over and over if this is fake. But Ari reassures everyone that this was a true story. If that's the story Ari told, you know it's probably worse. You just let a 5-year-old watch you pee? Yeah, right. Where is Chris Hansen when you need him? With Ari being so reckless with his words, it was only a matter of time before he crossed a line that would have serious ramifications. And he did that on January 26th, 2020, the day NBA legend Kobe Bryant died along with his 13-year-old daughter Gianna when their private helicopter suddenly failed, crashing into the Santa Monica Mountains. When the news broke, the entire world was in shock. Kobe is one of the best basketball players of all time. Plus, he was a
Bro, it's crazy how much time has passed already with Kobe Bryant dying. It's been 3 years already, right? I'm telling you, the COVID around that time, like around like 2020 to 2022, time just went by quick, dude. Super quick, man. Let's see. Kobe Bryant. Yeah, it's in 2020. That was before COVID, actually. That was right before COVID, because COVID had started around like March or something like that. Um, Damn, dude, it's so crazy. It's been 3 years. Oh, 4 years now, I guess you could say, because he died on January 26th. So it's got to be 4 years already. 4 years, man. It's insane. Time flies by so quick, dude. Damn.
A family man who gave back to underserved communities just as much as he gave to the NBA. While millions of people were mourning the loss of the legend, tweeting their raw emotions,
he
Ari's take erupted with backlash. 4 hours after the reports of the death of Kobe and Gigi, Ari posted a tweet reading, "Kobe Bryant died 23 years too late today. He got away with grape because all the Hollywood liberals who attack comedy enjoy rooting for the Lakers more than they dislike R-word. Big ups to the hero who forgot to gas up his chopper. I hate the Lakers. What a great day. F the Lakers." After catching a huge wave of criticism from his tweet, he shortly doubled down with a video.
As I know, there's always a lot of like hate, pain in the world, and there's always a bunch of terrible stories. And every once in a while, there's a good story. A good story comes out. The guy who got away with got his today. Kobe Bryant is a god. I'm here in Charlotte, the home of the team that originally drafted him. Maybe he wouldn't have raped that chick in Denver if he had stayed in Charlotte with the Hornets.
Most people had no idea who Ari Shaffir was. Now he was known as the guy who mocked Kobe Bryant's death. The comedy community addressed his comments.
You know, there were children that died. And so it's just, that's too much to joke about. It's too much.
Or like, it's too soon. Cause
I was like, it's too much.
Doing fucked up jokes, I don't judge you. But the nastiness in that video, hours after this, there was nothing funny about it. There was no intent to be funny. I was disgusted by the shit.
I think that his tweet, when I look at it, I go, I would not have said that. But Ari is consistent with that bit that he does, where when somebody dies, he says the most fucked up thing he can say about the person.
Comedians were torn because they love Ari and want to defend free speech and comedy, but also understand that this tweet was not a joke, it wasn't funny, and it was definitely bad timing.
Like the way, like his delivery was just like more of a serious delivery than like making a tasteless joke, I guess you could say, for some people could say. It was like a more serious thing. So, it was just very bad taste.
Just 2 days after Ari posted his controversial tweets, he had a scheduled performance in New York City at the Kips Bay venue. Once Kobe fans discovered this, they began threatening the venue, leading the club to cancel his performance. The venue filed an aggravated harassment report with the police due to the seriousness of the threats. In response to the show being forcibly canceled, Shaffir made a post to his Instagram claiming that it was just a joke, trying to justify this as harmless trolling. He pointed back to his history of making crude comments about recently passed celebrities. Every time a beloved celebrity dies, I post some horrible stuff about them. I've been doing it for years now. I like destroying gods. And right when a famous person dies,
in 2020, dude, you cannot get away with those jokes anymore. It's not how it was in the early 2000s, like 2010s. Like, no, you cannot get away with that anymore. Cause I'm pretty sure probably they had made like those crazy jokes, especially when probably when Michael Jackson died, right? I have not seen him because again I wasn't really into all that, but I'm pretty sure they probably made a bunch of jokes about him when he passed away. And nowadays, you cannot do that at all. It's gonna be very hard to do it, to really pull it off.
At their most worshipped. Even though he released this half apology on Instagram, Ari was still dropped by his talent agency. Yet still to this day, Ari Shaffir is not sorry.
That you do not regret whatever it was, a tweet or a story or something about Kobe.
You gotta be true to your fucking stand-up, man.
I mean, dude, it's insane.
I see all these people whenever some celebrity dies, they're wrenching their fucking clothes publicly, making it about themselves, and it's always nauseating to me.
The situation did momentarily thwart his career, but then it helped him. While the pandemic was in full effect, comedians were being criticized and canceled seemingly every week for their edgy jokes that people on the internet did not approve of. However, this started an uprising of free speech defenders who wanted to show their support for comedians. As the world became more politically correct, the demand for edgy and unhinged comedy became stronger than ever, which birthed the Skankfest comedy tour. Skankfest was like one of those rock star fantasy camps for comedians. We were surrounded by some of the best and darkest comics and the fans that loved them. Ari Shaffir is one of the most famous acts who has continuously headlined Skankfest since 2016, and the fans encourage him to be as disturbing as possible.
Every comedian gets a huge pop when they walk out on stage. The fans are so eager to hear good jokes all day. It's insane. Especially because every single person within a 10-mile radius of this festival is either on drugs, looking for drugs, aggressively binge drinking, deathly hungover, or a combination of those four options, including the comedians.
It's clear that Skankfest is the perfect home for Ari Shaffir, who has been very open about his love for experimenting with drugs. In fact, one of his favorite things to do is give other people drugs without their consent, as he has openly admitted to doing it multiple times. If you've seen my video about Bert Kreischer, you know Ari is no stranger to dosing people or spiking their drinks with drugs without them knowing. Just as a quick recap, one night Bert invited his good friend and fellow comedian Ari Shaffir over to his house to do a podcast. Ari shook Bert's 13 and 15-year-old daughter's hands, walked into the podcast room where they were going to share some drinks. Ari decided to secretly slip a capsule of MDMA, aka Molly, into Bert's drink without him knowing, to which Bert had a terrible experience on the drug. Bert, as well as many of his comedy peers, told Ari that what he did was reckless and genuinely concerning. But others, such as Joe Rogan and Nikki Glazer, thought it was hilarious. But this wasn't the first nor the last time Ari would admit to committing this crime.
But that's not the only time you dose somebody, though.
No, it's been a few times. It's been a few times, but I'm actually really good at dosing. I've just had a couple like overboards, but really everybody had a good time. I'll stand by it. No one really had a bad time on it. Just got to share it with your girlfriend or wife afterwards. They get pissed.
But it's even worse when you see him do it with your own eyes. During an appearance on the Legion of Skanks live podcast alongside Shane Gillis, Dan Soder, Luis Gomez, and Big J Okerson, Luis Gomez hatched a plan to dose Ari's drink at the start of the show and revealed to him later on that this was a prank.
I gave it to my employee. I was like, make sure this gets in Ari Shaffir's beer. Okay.
Oh, like payback?
In his beer. Now, I f***ed up and I told Shane, thinking that Shane, you know, look, I get that he's on Team Ari, but at the same time, it's pretty goddamn funny to dose Ari Shaffir with acid on Legion of Skanks. Let us just do it.
All right.
Let us do I assumed that Shane would just let it happen because that is the absolute funniest scenario.
Ari soon found out about Luis Gomez's plan, and instead of pouring the drink out, he decided to slide the drug drink to fellow comedian Big J Okerson. You might be thinking Ari was just getting someone back for drugging him, but what Ari did was dose someone who suffers from anxiety and does not take acid. And as you can imagine, Big J wasn't very happy about the situation. Many of the diehard comedy fans see Ari as a beacon of hope in an overly sensitive PC society, a man who is unafraid to push the boundaries of comedy. They don't take what he says on podcasts seriously because he is simply just joking. Others see him as a self-admitted criminal, potential predator, and borderline psychopath who excuses his suspicious behavior as just jokes. But Ari is not the
I could see that, honestly. Like, especially, like, okay, like, there is a big market right now to be, like, an edgy guy, to be anti-woke, anti-everything. Like, I could totally see, like, a lot of people made, like, podcasts nowadays, products, movies, all that kind of stuff, that it's kind of, like, anti-woke, and it will get, like, a lot of views automatically. For me, like, I was kind of like that, where it's like, oh, yeah, this is all woke, this is goddamn annoying, I don't want to be a part of this, like, this is goddamn boring, and to some case, it is still true, wokeness with like in media and all that, but not everything they showcase is automatically woke. Just, like, in my opinion, it's just people just put it that way because it fits the narrative, right? And yeah, so I can see like how Ari's like kind of like, all right, it's my time now, pretty much, right? Because like the people had a problem with his jokes because it either took it too far, they're tasteless, or not that funny now, right? But now, people are like, we need edge. We need edgy comedy to fight against this woke mob stuff, right? And it makes sense that it's popular, it's gonna go up, or it's been going up, because people want edgy jokes. They're like at that point now. We want the craziest edgy jokes now because everybody's too sensitive. Everybody's making a big deal of certain things, which I do agree to a certain point, and I do get it why he is becoming way more popular now and getting like more attention with the edgy jokes, because there's not that many of them no more, and so it's like if you're like one of the few that do it still, and especially around this time, it's kind of like the perfect time. It's like a perfect weather, whatever you want to call it.
The only successful comedian whose behavior is destroying them. Bert Kreischer is on the same path of self-destruction, but in a totally different way. Check that.
Yeah, I already saw it. Practice CC. And wait, did you say drink water in the stream? I mean, in this video, I don't think you did, bruh. I feel like Shane Gills is like calling Ari old and unfunniest in a roast. Did more damage on Ari than Ari has actually done. It's like 50 years old and really edgy, man. That is just so cool. Instead of actually the guy that took his girl because like all the bullies he knows who can get away with it and attacking. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's actually true. Attacking the weaker guy, the smaller guy, and not attacking the guy that actually stole your girl. Yeah. Back for Carlos Mencia for firing Ari after hearing what he did to Bobby. The fact that Ari's career never really blew up, despite all successful friends, says a lot. Yeah, but here's the thing, like it could blow up now in 2024. It's very possible if he makes those edgy jokes and continue bullying and stuff like that. Because like it worked with like Dave Chappelle, right? I mean, he does edgy jokes. He does it very well. I mean, he's one of my favorite comedians. Like he's literally the king of comedy, in my personal opinion, of this era. One takes it way too far. I mean, they're not together. I don't think so. Let's see. Artists, but I think the fans just show how horrible a person can be and still have success. Oh yes, yeah, that's normal. That is normal. You could be like the most effed up person in the world in today's age, but if you're bringing in entertainment to people, it won't really matter. As long as people watch you, they watch you, right? It won't really matter if you're the shittiest person ever. If you give good entertainment, they'll watch you. It's just how the world works now, with cloud and all that, right? Like if you're not like genuine entertaining, but like you're entertaining, like given sense of like doing edgy jokes and drama, all this kind of stuff, they'll watch you. They'll support you. They will continue doing what they keep doing. That they will keep hoping you keep doing your thing. Like that's how it works now, man. It's how it is now. It is what it is.